My name is Christian Ajay. I joined Colaberry in 2019. I did go through the same way like you guys are and finally got a job. And currently, I will tell you, I didn't have any IT background. So currently, I'm a software engineer with JP Morgan. And I'm sure you all know JP Morgan, Chase and Co. So that's where I work right now. I do a lot of development work in database, Oracle, some Tableau work, and then also work on enterprise applications and platforms like Actuate, which is not very common. And it's a very high production and fast-paced, very fast-paced production environment. So there is no time to, sit around or maybe not do anything. Even on weekends, it's likely that you can be on call. And as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm supposed to be checking my emails and then responding to that. That's what I currently, that's what I do. But not to go off topic, I will share with you the questions that I'm going to be answering so that we can all be on the same page. So these are the questions that I'll be answering. And I hope by the time I finish, you will learn one or two from it, which is going to help you, in your interview preparation. All right. So the first question was that, what was the duration of your job search before receiving an offer? Yeah, I will go straight to the point. It took 2 months for me to find a job finally. But before the 2 months, I was doing the preparation. Like after I finished with the DA class, I joined the IPBC. I did all the projects, that's the mortgage projects and all that. I did everything. And then also after that, I joined the internship. And with the internship, I finished one project, and then I was wrapping up my second. When I started second, that's when I started looking for a job. And within 2 months, I found one. So that is the time can be different for, anybody, different for everybody. So depending on how, where you prepare and all that. So, and then the kind of company that you're looking for. And then also the next question is that, how many interviews did you attend during your job search process? Actually, I did 4 interviews. And the 4 interviews, I'll tell you what happens with all of that. I think I remember 3 of them. I think the first one, after the first interview, I did not get a call back. I felt like maybe I did not do well. That's why they didn't contact me. And the second interview, what happened was that I had 4 rounds of interviews. And with those 4 rounds, I thought I was going to get the job, right? I was going to get the offer. But after the final one, which was a SQL test, so they allow me to sit and take control of their screen to write some SQL, answering some questions from a database that I had no idea about. So after that, I did well. I thought the kind of question they asked, I did very well. So I was expecting them to give me an offer, but nothing happened. Actually, when I was waiting, I had my 3rd interview. So that interview went very well. I had 2 managers and the director of the department. So they interviewed me. They gave me about 17 questions in total. And I think after that, I felt like I did very well. So maybe that would be my chance. And truly, after 2 weeks, they called me. It was just 1 round. I'll be honest with you, it was just 1 round, 2 weeks. They called me and they gave me the job. And then the 4th one, which is very interesting, I actually sat in front of the interview panel, about 8 people in a room. They were all, blasting me with different questions and all that. And I was trying my best to answer them and all that. But I think I got some feeling during the interview that it wouldn't be a good place for me, even though I did very well. But the way they were talking to me, I really didn't like the experience. So after the call, I called the recruiter and told them to just end it. I don't think it's a good thing to do, but that is my experience I'm sharing, so that you can also learn something from that. It's just the way I felt that wouldn't be a right fit for me, even if I go on to get get that job. So that was it. So I did 4 total interviews, and then I got 1 offer from that. But as to how many applications I had sent at that time, that's a number of them. That's about 30 to 40 of them. So question number 3, it says, can you describe the differences between your initial interview and the one with the company where you eventually received an offer? I think I already touched a little bit about this by explaining to you the kind of interviews that I did. Yeah, the first one, I was asked to write a SQL code on the phone, actually, write on a paper and read it out to them. I felt like I did not get the question well, and the way they described the tables and the details, like the fields and all that, I felt I did not get it. And I didn't know what kind of questions to ask them. So I just did what I could. And eventually, I did not even get a call back from them. So that was the first one. I was a little bit nervous. I felt like it's just the way it feels always for the first time, right? So I did what I could. And then the one that I got the offer, it was a very good experience. I will tell you this. It felt like everything that I did in preparation towards that, it was asking that interview. And then also, I will point out some of the stuff that we do. The main reason why I got the job was how to work with data. Especially, they had a critical question about getting data from one place to another, like from one database to another. So because of my experience with SSIS, I was able to tell them how I can use SSIS to do that job. And the question mainly was about, they have like 15 years of work or data. I would say work because they were all running with macros like VVBA scripts, running them from Access database. And this Access database is connected to big databases, and the data was very, very huge. And sometimes it's very slow, it takes hours to run, and they were trying to get away from those applications that they have built in Access and then get everything on the web, like build web analytics platform for them, which is going to be more like a self-service. So you can go there, enter your parameters, and run your report for the employees. So that's something they were trying to do, and stay away from Access, because it has gotten to the point that sometimes the reports were not even running. So they were they asked me a critical question about that in my experience and how I'm going to solve that issue for them. So I was able to demonstrate how, have used SSIS to get data from SQL Server to, like, from different files like Excel, XML, those kind of things, like CSV, those kind of things, and that you've worked with, right? So I was able to tell them that. And then I told them the connections that you can do in Access and all that, and how we can do that. That was the first time I was interviewing for this kind of role. So comparing that with the initial, this time around, I think I had, and then also I had experience from my previous 4 interviews, the other interview that I had, which was 4 of them. It gave me that exposure to speak with upper level and, management, and also understand, because 4 different levels, different questions, different people, in different roles. So that one also gave me that confidence to go into the next one. But the difference was the ability to demonstrate how I have used these tools to, and how I can use it at that point to also help them with what they have. That was the difference. And let's move into question number 4. So the question number 4 is saying, reflecting on your interview preparation, what changes or improvement would you have made in hindsight? Okay, this answer to this is simple. Practice, 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 right? That's what I would do. Because you know what? The interview preparation, you don't know what to expect, okay? Number one thing I would do is to practice more of interview questions, right? Different interview scenario questions that, you can be asked, right? And then also the next thing is to also prepare more practical answers, right? Give real life examples. Yes, at this point, it might be very difficult to get that, but you can think about your current role, your job. I mean, we are all adults, we all have had jobs before. So you can think about where this can be applied in your role, in your job that you do, right? And then think about the challenges that you think can be, and then how you can solve those challenges at your current company with the skills that you have. So you can think about something like that. And then also take advantage of the project that you do, the SSRS projects, like the mortgage projects, from the beginning to the end. Document every stage, the issues that you had, those kind of things that I think I did, but I didn't really do much of that because I didn't really know that. Because I was thinking, because I know the basics very well, like your foreign keys, your primary keys, your state, your this and that. I was thinking maybe knowing that I'm just going to be asked those things. But I realized that it was more practical than I thought. And then also, now I will learn to be more, relaxed in my delivery, right? And then also not feel pressured during the interview. Those are the things that you have to get used to. You need to practice that and then be your own, be yourself. Don't try to be something else. Like, don't put too much pressure on you. So those are the things that I would do. Number one is to practice more. Number two is to get more practical examples that I can talk about just based on your experience. You can draw from the mortgage and all that. That's what I would do. And then the third thing is to be more relaxed and be myself when I'm interviewing. And that is my answer for question 4. So question number 5 will be, did you participate in instructor mocks to practice for interviews? And if so, how frequently did you engage in them? Yeah, this is a very important question, actually. At this point, you'd be wondering what use that, is it going to be for you if you take the mock test? And I'll tell you this. I did a lot of mock interviews with my mentor. I did a lot of them. And I scheduled it every week. My mentor was very busy. And I mean, it just makes sense that they will be busy, right? But try to at least do one, take advantage of that. Whenever they're available, let them understand that. And then I did that. And every Friday, I was doing one mock interview. It's either Thursday or Friday. I can't remember exact day, but I was doing one. You can also do same. Just also, if you have any questions, you can ask like I did. I was asking them questions every time, and then also in them about the real life experience, the scenarios that you can have within the job. And I think at some point I asked my mentor that to walk me through the daily, flow, what happens every day for her. And then yeah, she was able to tell me all of that. So I took note of that. And at some point I used that, some of them in my, because I didn't really have a lot of experience like the way we all took advantage of that. And then I was able to use those responses from the mentors to help me during interviews. So have that engagement. I did have a lot that engagement with them, but I made sure I did that during their free time so they can, have time for me. Yeah, I know sometimes it felt like I was disturbing them, but it's just how I wanted to, get the information. And they were also helpful in that and understood my situation too. And like they will always be there to help. So I took advantage of that. And that answers my question number 5. Question 6, it says, how effectively did you utilize your mentor's guidance and support during your job search? I think I answered that part. I will take notes every single time that I talk with my mentor. I did that because after every interview, they will give detailed feedback and tell you where you need to improve and where you did well. I actually liked the encouragement from them because even though I may not be doing well, but the fact that they're encouraging me and telling me that I did very well, that actually was a boost for me because it urges you to do more. It actually encourages you to, go beyond that to always impress. And knowing that I had them guiding me, I wasn't actually scared because I knew for everything that I'm doing, I can get someone there to also tell me, actually give me ratings of my performance and all that. So I used that. And I said, I also asked questions that were also relevant. That also helped me because sometimes when you ask the relevant questions, definitely you get the right answers that you need. So that is how I utilize that. And like I said, if you want to do really well in your interviews, you need to be engaging with people that have been there. And then also sometimes the way I learn is, I will tell you this. This is not my mentor, but it was somebody that I knew was working. The person didn't know I was doing something like that. So I will go to him and be asking questions about his work and, when there's an issue, how does he go about it and all that. So I was doing that and I was learning. And then when I come back, I will write everything, his workflow and everything down. And then I will ask him, how do you solve issues like this or that? And sometimes they'll be wondering, why are you asking all these kind of questions? Are you trying to be this or that? I'm like, no, I have background in engineering. So I'm like, you know what? I'm more about problem solving. So I'm always interested in how people go about their daily work and how they solve issues and all that. So I just want to understand that. And I will use that also. So not just the mentors only, I also use people around me. So I can just say those are also my mentor because people that can give you guidance in those things that are the things that you're doing and they're also in line with your field or your role. So I like to ask questions and then also capitalize on the feedback that they give. That's what I did.